Let's catch up with Vasyl Myroshnychenko, who's Ukraine's ambassador to Australia. He joins me live from Canberra. Good to talk to you again, Ambassador. We haven't spoken for a long while. I want to get your assessment of where this peace plan is at the moment, because there are various interpretations of it, and a very common one at the moment is that President Trump is preparing to sell out Ukrainian land to get a peace deal. Is he selling you short?
It's too early to say, Chris. Thank you for having me. Negotiations are ongoing with the Americans in Geneva. We are also closely coordinating with our European partners. What's now being discussed is, of course, a document which has been in the media, but I think it's too early to make a judgment. There was a statement that President Zelensky made earlier this morning, Australian time, where he commended the progress made in those talks. And most importantly, the statement says that the future agreement will be based on upholding Ukrainian sovereignty and will be focused on achieving a sustainable and just peace. Certainly, we'll see what are the details. But what we need to avoid that Russia is rewarded for their act of aggression. And I think it's a red line, and I think it's important for America, it's important for Europe, it's important for Ukraine and Australia to make sure that it's not perceived in the same way.
Yeah, look, there are a number of key points here, but the critical one is territory. And according to my reading of that 28-point plan, there could be a ceding of territory, but only if Ukraine agreed to it. Do you believe Ukraine is coming under pressure to cede territory in the east to Russia? And is that at all conceivable? And just added to that question, is there potential for any autonomous region there between Ukraine and Russia where there would be some sort of shared or autonomous regional sovereignty?
Chris, just to give you an idea, imagine that Australia is being invaded by an enemy, and in exchange for peace, the enemy is asking for Queensland to be given up. And that's pretty much what Russians have put on the table. It's nothing new. They've been demanding that for a long time. And certainly Russians may end up controlling a certain part of Ukraine, but Ukraine will never cede any territory to Russia, and nobody is able to do it. Neither President Zelensky nor the people of Ukraine who don't support it. So there is no mandate that the president has to do so. So we realize that perhaps the line will be out there in that defense line, which is currently existing. But certainly, Ukrainian people will never be able to cede the territory, and that's important for the future of our sovereignty and the future of actual stability globally. Because if a stronger country, which has nuclear weapons and which is bigger and stronger, can go and change borders by force, I think that's a very dangerous world we're going to get into.
Absolutely. Now, the other critical thing for Ukraine is security guarantees from the West, and there looks to be positive movement there. Also a suggestion, though, that when it comes to support for Ukraine, former Prime Minister Tony Abbott is suggesting that Australia or Anthony Albanese should offer Australian military input. Is that something that Ukraine would welcome?
It's certainly the matter for Prime Minister Anthony Albanese to decide how he can support Ukraine. What I can say, we definitely will be very grateful for extending a new package of assistance, military, economic, energy assistance that the government could consider providing. It's been 12 months since a significant package was made, and we are out there. You have to understand that Australia stands with Ukraine from Prime Minister down, and we have a moral contract between Australia and Ukraine, and that moral contract is based on defending democracy and regional security. And Australian people, and we have to make sure that we protect it, we enact it, and there is definitely support for that among the public. And the way to do it is to either provide more support to Ukraine, but also to make sure that no Russian petrol or diesel or jet fuel makes it to the market, which derives from the Russian oil. And that's not only it's an issue for other countries who've been buying that, because you have to understand that Russians are funding this war through their ability to sell that oil to different countries. But at this stage, what we ask in Australia to do is to continue standing with us. I mean, we're in this fight together. We are defending democracy, and we're defending regional security as much as it's all intertwined. And definitely, if Russia does not fail in Ukraine, that definitely opens up a very different future for your region here, where other authoritarian leaders may want to venture into other countries and change borders.
Ambassador, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it. That's Vasyl Myroshnychenko, who's the Ukrainian ambassador in Australia.